What is going on, everyone? Give a thought back here today for another No Man's Sky news update video. So, yesterday, the contents for the 1.03 patch for No Man's Sky were officially released. Now, this patch was announced about a week ago, and I made a video about my predictions on that patch. So go back and watch that and take a drink every time I got something wrong. It will probably prove for a good party game. Anyways, I got a lot to go over, so let's get into this. I'm just going to pick out the ones that stood out to me, or the ones I thought were the most important to discuss with everyone. But I will leave a link in the description down below if you want to check out the full list. So without further ado, let's check out the first patch note that I think is amazing. And it is called The Three Paths. And the description reads, there are now new unique paths you can follow throughout the game. You must start the game on a fresh save with the patch, as early choices have significant impact on what you will see later in the game, and the overall experience. So this addition to No Man's Sky takes me back to an interview Sean Murray did. In it, he said that players will most likely become entrepreneurs or merchants or explorers, and not really be shooting for the center of the galaxy right away at least. So I think that's what he was talking about with these three paths. Who knows officially what they will be called, but I assume it's something along those lines. This feature gives the game enormous replay value if it didn't have that already, and is overall a great addition to the game, and one that I am really excited about. But let's move on. In the patch notes, it says that the universe has also been updated. Quote, we changed the rules of the universe generation algorithm. Planets have been moved, environments have changed biomes, galaxies have altered shape, all to create greater variety earlier. Galaxies are now up to 10 times larger. This addition makes a lot of sense, because in the leaked copies of the game, it was noted that the planets were much closer together than originally claimed. And if they moved the planets, I assume it's moving them farther apart. And it also said that the galaxies are now up to 10 times larger. I assume that's where they spread out the planets, but who knows what else they've added to those galaxies. I know there are space stations and different things like that, so we can look forward to seeing things other than just planets. And the next addition is by far the funniest, and will give a unique take on this game for sure. And that is feeding. The website says, creatures now have their own diet, based on planet and climate. Feeding them correctly will yield different results per species, such as mining for you, protecting the player, becoming pets, alerting you to rare loot, or, pooping valuable resources. Now, for you Borderlands 2 fans out there, I think we might have another butt stallion on our hands. But in all seriousness, this is a really cool addition. Who knew that this was going to be part of the game? Apparently, you can Pokemon your way through planets. How cool is that? I'm sure that there will be a whole player base around this mechanic. And I'm hoping it's something similar to the Chow Garden from Sonic Adventure 2. And one thing that they left out that I assume will have to be in there somehow is creature growth. Will your little pets evolve in a way, or will they just stay the same? And if it is not added this time, maybe they can add it in another patch. Who knows? But let's move on to the next one. And that is exploits. According to the patch notes, and I quote, infinite warp cell exploit and rare goods trading exploit, among others, are removed. People using these cheats were ruining the game for themselves, but people are weird and can't stop themselves. So this is great news as far as I'm concerned, and it completely erases the worry I had about the game being actually 30 hours long. Reports about the leaked copy that came out, played by Redditor Damien, had him reaching the center of the galaxy in 30 hours. And of course, that's a pretty lengthy game, especially when you play a lot of them. But the promises made by Sean Murray and Hello Games were that it was going to take hundreds of hours. And now we have some concrete proof that that was an exploit. So now you can sleep easy, ladies and gentlemen, because your journey through No Man's Sky is going to take a while. And moving on to the last one, which may be seen as kind of minor compared to the others, but I thought it was equally important, and that is the writing. Quote, the Atlas path has been rewritten by James Swallow, a writer on Deus Ex, and me being Sean Murray. I think it speaks to the overarching theme of player freedom more clearly now. Early mission text has been rewritten to allow for multiple endings. So all in all, that is a great addition, especially the writing from one of the writers on Deus Ex. If you've never played that game, I highly recommend it. And I am assuming he means the first game in the series. But now we have evidence of multiple endings, so that's great too. Although that does leave me with more questions than answers about this game, really. But I'm just glad so much attention is being paid to story in a sandbox game like this. You usually never get that, and it makes me even more hyped for No Man's Sky tomorrow morning. And with that comes the end of my video. If you guys enjoyed this one, why not check out yesterday's video? It was all about why we haven't seen the reviews for No Man's Sky popping up everywhere yet. It's pretty informative if you haven't read up on that subject, so I recommend it. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Just click that annotation in the top left corner and you'll be taken right to my channel. And again, I appreciate all the new subscribers I've been getting lately. Really, thanks everyone. Alright, that's about it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, give thought to everything,